welcome everybody to our bonus market close for this Friday, May 24th, 2024. Always great to see you guys. Always great to do these market closes. They're always a lot of fun. So sit back, let's enjoy ourselves. We'll take a look at the market. We do have a green market, which is fantastic. And we're heading into this here is traditionally kind of where it's Memorial Day weekend. So we don't get a long weekend here. They do in the States. But a lot of people look at this as the kickoff to summer. Even though summer isn't officially here until the middle of June, it kind of feels that way once we get past this last weekend here in May. So I found something today that is going to be very, very cool. So it's an addition. It's a new little thing that we're going to do on the show. You'll see in a moment, but it's very cool. Okay, let's take a quick gander at the markets before we hit up the comments. All right, just bring up the market. Here we go. That's not the market. That's the Discord. I was just adding XEI to the pool. Somebody had requested that one. So let's get over into the market. Over here on the side, you can see this is Bitcoin. I had just gotten a new channel set up. I was all happy with the movement, and what did it do? It broke out. So what can you do? All right, so we got green pretty much right across the board. TSX is up about almost 0.5%. It's 0.42%. The S&P 500 is up 0.61%. The NASDAQ is up 0.94%. Gold is up 0.21. Silver's up 0.7. WTI, West Texas Intermediate, our oil, that's up a whole 1.03. And Bitcoin's up 1.45%. So that's not too shabby. We got a few things about Ethereum. We're going to talk a little bit about Ethereum after the bell. We'll wait till after the bell for that. Time for the heat map. Let's pull it up. Here we go. Much better than last time. We got a lot more green in here. Look at TD up 2.13%. Constellation Software, a VIX favorite, up 2.63%. Yeah, not too bad. Over here, Alimentation Couche-Tard up 0.82%. So that's not too shabby. We do have a few things that are down, like Nutrien's down just over 1%. Shopify, oh gosh, look at that. That's like down 1.67%. So that's a good amount. But overall, not a bad looking day on the Canadian market. Let's take a look. Okay. I got a new heat map for you. This is the Canadian ETF heat map. The ETF heat map. Holy banana bread. We got it. VFV up 0.12%. A VCN up 0.44%. This is just great. It's fantastic. So, I got all of these things so we can sort of see. You know what? Let's get rid of the losers. Let's just pull up. We'll go here. These are the really big ones that are up today. Over here, we can see some of the Bitcoin ones like BTCX.B up 2.42%. Not surprising with Bitcoin being so far up. But XEG, I love XEG. That's my oil ETF. ZQQ is up 0.83%. XQQ up 0.96%. So I just found this quite literally 5 minutes before the stream started. That's why I'm about a minute late. I'm about a minute late because I was getting this set up. I was like, oh my God, I've got an ETF one. I thought that would be kind of cool we can play with. All right, we'll revisit this after the market closes. Let's take a look at the US one. Over on the US one, we got tech looking good. Google's up. Meta, look at them, up 2.22%. Nvidia. Oh, so if you guys remember in the last market close, we were talking about Nvidia, and I was telling you guys it's going to break 1,000 shares probably before they open the next day. And they did. They broke that 1,000 shares. Of course, we now know that Nvidia is doing a 10-to-1 a stock split. So if you hold one share in Nvidia, pretty much, I think it's around I think it's June 6th or somewhere's in that vicinity. You'll have 10 shares. So it'll basically take the $1,000 stock, take it down to about $100. They did up their dividend. And here's a funny thing. So they upped their dividend to 10 cents a share. The reason they went that much, because I think they were at 4 cents. The reason they went that high is because with the split, 1 cent will go to each one of that split. So basically, when you have the $100 Nvidia stock, your dividend is going to be a penny. But that's fine. You haven't lost anything. So they can then grow it from there. Now, what this does is it creates a lot of accessibility for Nvidia. So one, for people who are like, let's say you don't have fractional investing, you might be like, I can't save up $1,000 for this one stock. Now you just got to save up $100. Bang, you got your Nvidia. Where this also helps is with options traders. So when you've got $1,000 stock, I don't know what I was saying there, but when you have a stock that's that pricey, you can't just do options on one. You've got to buy a bundle. I believe it's like 100 or something I believe it's 100. Those of you who are in the comments who do options, verify if it's 100. I believe it's 100. I could be wrong, but so look at it this way. If you have to buy 100 of $1,000 stock, that's $100,000 to basically write options on it. Whereas at $100, all of a sudden, if you're going to do options, you might need 10,000 to do that. And I might be off with that 100. I'm just I just know it's a multiple number. I haven't looked at it for a while, but I do believe it's 100. We'll stick it 100 until somebody proves me wrong. So, yeah, so that's kind of cool. So those are our, we still have our cryptocurrency. We got crypto heat map. I almost forgot. Let's go in. Bang. You got Bitcoin up 1.48%. Now this is surprising. Ethereum is down 1.26%. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, you may say it's down, but that's because this happened yesterday, this big bump. The reason for that is the SEC. The SEC came out and they basically stamped approval for an Ethereum spot ETF in the US. So this is looking good. Like there's still one more step the companies who want the ETFs have to do, but those will all happen pretty fast. Basically, the one only hurdle that with the SEC, they stamped it. It's okay. Everybody's moving ahead. So we will have spot Bitcoin ETFs in the States, and they will be they'll be coming really, really fast. So that's just craziness and goodness. I look at this. Solana is down 4.65%. I don't like to see that. Come on, Solana. Let's see you do better. Let's see you do better. All right. Holy banana bread. We got so much here in the chat. Let's get caught up. Prairie is first in the house with a woohoo with the office now on summer hours. I am home this afternoon to catch a market close live stream. Awesome sauce. Or apparently I'm not supposed to say awesome sauce anymore. It's like the 90s, but still, I like it. So I'll say it. Stan says, happy Friday, all. Banana bread for life from 9. Jersky's in the house with a happy weekend. Roku Stittsville, afternoon, everyone. Not far from me. Stittsville is just on the outskirts of Ottawa. Ricardo is good afternoon. I don't know if I got all the Y's, but I tried. So after viewing your market close, I ended up picking up a couple of shares of CLS in the U.S. side at 57.55. Interesting. Patricia's in the house. Hello, Patricia. Always good to see you. Wish there better opportunities to purchase. Yeah, absolutely. A banana bread ETF heat map. I know. That was just, I was like, oh my God, there's a heat map. They have a heat map for ETFs. So I went with the Canada one. I could do the US one too, but the problem is I don't think many of us are buying a whole bunch of ETFs from the States. Mind you, I am adding one to the 0 to 100K challenge, but that'll be more or less if you guys say, come on, throw in the US ETF one, I'll do it. But you guys gotta tell me to do it because I don't think there's a lot of interest in that one. Yeah, 100 stocks. There we go. I thought I was right. I thought I was right. So it's always good to find out that I am right. There we go. So yeah, 100 equals one option. That will be good for my ETH stock. Yeah, it should be. It should be. Absolutely. Like your ETH probably made a nice jump, probably at open because I think a lot of this happened towards the end of the day yesterday. Patricia says, wish there were better opportunities to buy. Yeah, well, today's a green day. So, prices are high. Prices are absolutely high. So it's kind of one of these things. If you've got a long period of prices being high, it's hard to try to time the market. So that's why a lot of times I will just hike back to dollar cost averaging. It's like, okay, well, you know what? I want to buy, let's say I plan to buy 20 of these, 20 shares of Nvidia at $100 when they do the thing. You may not want to buy all 20 shares on the first day. You might want to maybe say, okay, well, I'll buy a share a week for the next 20 weeks. And that way there you're getting a more of a fair price. So just a thought. Prairie says, I finally took a position in TF yesterday at $7. Timber Creek Financial. I do like that stock. And once we're on the other side of all these rate cuts, there's no reason why TF won't get back up to around $9. So, that's not too shabby. Y Video says, hi, y'all. Nvidia and QCOM on a fire. That was a good week. Sold some Nvidia and bought some SKM, so South Korea Telecom, and RPRX Royalty Pharma. Oh, look at this. Look at your diversification coming in there. Yeah, absolutely. There was just a lot going on. Let's see here. Patricia says, IDCA on XEQT, VDY for now, trying to add to other stocks. Yeah, absolutely. Not a bad thing to do. 9 says you can penny cost average with Wealthsimple. Yes, the good old penny cost average. Oh, we're getting really close to the bell. We're getting really, really, really close to that bell. Patricia says, penny cost average, really? Yes, because 9 has found out that with the fractional shares over on Wealthsimple, it's letting her buy. It's letting her buy a penny. 1 penny a share. Not a share, but 1 penny fraction. So, you could penny cost average or nickel cost average or dime cost average. I guess that's the true definition of nickel and diming it, right? But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm looking here. We got about a little less than 40 seconds. I got the bell ready. It's here. I'm ready to just absolutely pound this bell here. All right, we got 24 seconds. Not going to let myself get too distracted. And Patricia's just amazed at that penny cost averaging. Why not? It's kind of cool. And we got a good old chuckle for Prairie. Not bad. All right, guys, we're down to 5 seconds. Here we go. It's like, what can I say in 5 seconds? Oh, here it is. And the market is closed. The U.S. market is going to be closed, of course, on Monday. We'll be open, of course, on Monday. But, it's a long weekend in the U.S. Good old Memorial Day weekend. It's funny, Memorial Day is usually that day when we get some good week. We usually get a good movie that comes out on Memorial Day weekend. I don't know if we are this year, especially with the state of cinema lately. It's kind of a hit and miss. Even all of the big franchises have been dropping some stinkers. So we got to see. We got to see what's gonna happen. All right. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that one. I came on to that one. So gotta have a good bell. Definitely got to have a good bell. All right. Now, one big question on everybody's mind is we're back again to the rate cuts. The good old Bank of Canada, are they going to do a June or are they going to do a July? I have been firmly on in the June camp pretty much since the beginning. I've only just recently flip-flopped to July. I really want to go back to June, but I'm not going to flip-flop back. I only get one flip-flop per issue. So I'm stuck on July. But here's the interesting thing. A lot of analysts are starting to look back at June, especially after our recent CPI. Inflation is down. It's kind of definitely on target. It's really where we want to see it. So what will they do it? Now here's the thing. I still think in my gut, I think that the Bank of Canada is just going to look at it and say, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, there's an effect on the Canadian economy. And yeah, we're kind of ready to cut rates. But I think I think that the Canadian economy can maybe survive one more month. I don't think it will hurt us. And that way there we can be really, really sure. Let's maybe cut in July. Let's maybe cut in July, not in August. So that's where I think things are going. So I think we're looking at, I'm still leaning to July, and I hope. Here's the funny thing. When I flip-flopped over to July, there's a part of me that says, okay, I'm going to say July, but I really hope I'm wrong. I would, it's almost like I would get some vindication, or at least earlier past me would get vindication if it were June. So we'll have to see. We won't have to wait very long because that next meeting is on June 5th. So that's coming up pretty darn fast. So basically, well, we got not this week coming up, the week after, we'll know. But yeah, so I'm still thinking oh man, I'm still like, I think at the core I'm at 50-50, but I'm like thinking, nah, I think they're still going to push it to July, but we'll see. We'll definitely see with that. So, we'll have to see. What do you got? Now, this is what I'm thinking. Let me know in the chat. Do you think June, July, or or do you have another opinion altogether? So whatever it is, drop it in the chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking. Ricardo wants to know about my opinion on gold. Yeah, I mean, I think right now, I think gold is going to have a good year. I don't see anything until, here's the thing. Right now, as long as there's any kind of instability, and there's going to be instability for a while, that always bodes well for gold. So I do see gold as having a pretty good year. Probably even more. I would even say 2025 will probably be a good year for gold as well. So I am bullish on it. So, that's kind of where I stand on gold. Patricia's thinking July. All right. We got another one for July. That's kind of cool. All right. While you guys are throwing in where you think we're going to get these rate cuts, let's take our final look at the market for this week, because our week is now done. All right, let me just pull this up. Here we go. All right. Whew. So, no brainer. We finished, of course, in the green. The TSX did get all the way up to 0.54%, so they had a tiny bit of a rally towards the end. S&P 500 up to 0.70%. NASDAQ almost up 1%, 0.91. Gold up 0.24, silver 0.79, WTI up a full 1.09, and Bitcoin up 1.68%. Not too shabby. Once again, here is our heat map for the regular for the stocks. Alimentation Couche-Tard all the way up 1.06. I'll just pull these guys up here for a bit. So this is Alimentation Couche-Tard is a stock I've been very bullish on, and I've been vocal about that bullishness. And you'll see they had a little bit of a rough time here, but could this be the beginnings of them rebounding back up? I'd love to see them get back up to 86 for sure, where they were. Could this be the beginning? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, the beautiful thing is anybody who wanted to get a position on here, down here was a great time to get in. And maybe you've missed it, but even now, I still think it's still a good position. So we'll have to see how that all works out. Whew, nice. Just trying to see if there's anything else really. I want to pull TD up for a minute here. Oh, look at TD. So yeah, I've been watching a little bit about the news, a little bit more about, of course, that whole money laundering and how that is going to affect them. They actually think this stain that's on TD's name from this whole incident could take like 3 years for everything to be said and done. That's interesting. But I think for investors tend to forget after a while. And we'll probably see a bit of a rebound here. So yeah, they came up, they came down, they're coming back up. We'll have to see. Who knows how long it'll take them to get back up to 86 though. But here's the thing. They are the first to have their earnings come out, and their earnings came out this week, and they did beat expectations. So that's not too shabby. Now, the rest of the banks are all coming out next week, all of their earnings. And that means it's time for me to do an earnings video on the big 6 banks. So that'll probably be out not this week coming up, probably the following week. So yeah, I need to look at that schedule and see how I'm fitting it in, because I also have the 0 to 100K challenge in that same week. So it's probably going to be 0 to 100K challenge and then the bank video. So those will probably be the 2 videos of the following week, the first 2 videos in June. Whew. All right. Now let's pull ourselves back. Oh, here's our ETF one once again. And you can sort of see these really, really green ones are, let's take a look. What is this? Oh, this is the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. So this is BTCC. So it's actually done some pretty good this time around. All right, there we go. And these are the currency ones. So, and you can sort of see EBIT, BTCY down there. So, oops. All right. Actually, if I click like that, there we go. Puts me right into the currency ones. So these are all of our spot Bitcoin ETFs and how they're doing. So we got BTCY, BTCC, FBTC, EBIT, BTCY, BTCQ. Oh, here's ETHY, just starting to make a little bit of an appearance. ETC. What is ETC? Oh, that's the evolved. Yeah, that's the evolved cryptocurrencies one. So this one has more than, I think it has mixed. I think it's mostly, so yeah, look, they've got Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they do have both in there. So, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, Bitcoin or Ethereum, I don't know which one, this is for you then. This is definitely for you in that case. So yeah, and 1520, that's not a bad price to get in there. All right. And once again, finishing off with the US, things look good. We'll look at Apple's doing well. Nvidia, of course, we'll bring Nvidia up here. And, Nvidia sitting at 1,064. So, hey, it may not be 100 right now. It's like $106.49. That's where it looks like they'll start, depending on how much higher they can go. So that's not a bad earnings call. Not a bad earnings call for them at all. Everything is definitely looking up for Nvidia. And as long as they're the only ones really providing the chipsets that they need, that everyone needs when it comes to AI, they can write their own ticket. But if we get to a situation where companies are saying, well, you know what, let's just make our own chipsets that does what Nvidia does, then we start having some issues with Nvidia at that point. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So we'll just pull that away. Look at Tesla. They're up a little bit today, 3.17%. So that's not too shabby. And back over to the crypto map once again. So Bitcoin up here, one of the big winners of the day. Dogecoin. We'll pull up Dogecoin. Dogecoin they've been having a pretty darn good year. So you gotta give Dogecoin credit for that. Even though it's a meme coin, and even though I don't hold any Dogecoin, and I don't want to hold Dogecoin, but it's yeah, it's just one of those things. And we can come down into the middle, this is like the void. Helium mobile coin. Look at some of these things. Secret. Okay. A Leverify. Wow. Everscale. Some of these I've never even heard of. Like, look at this. 12.11. What is this? I have no clue. It's StreamR. Okay. Okay. Well, you know, maybe that's a good coin. I don't know. I stick to the big ones. Stick to the ones that I know. All right, let's go back to big me here. We'll get caught up here on the chat. So Ricardo says, I do not believe rate cuts will happen in the U.S. due to the economic data that keeps contradicting itself. Strong jobs, but crappy services and manufacturing, low unemployment. So yeah, in the U.S. Now the U.S. I don't see rate cuts happening in the summer at all. We're probably, and it really depends. Like, we need to see the data. The data needs to do an about face in the U.S. If the data doesn't improve, you could get to a situation where there's no rate cuts in 2024. It's a possibility. But if they start getting some half decent data, then we might see one in the fall, maybe two. But the data has got to really, really turn around. It's going to start looking a lot more like Canadian data. Prairie says, I'm of the same camp, July, but hope I'm wrong and it gets called in June. There we go. 9 says, I wouldn't mind rate hikes. I have a decent cash position. All right, fair enough. Y Video says, I think Couche-Tard is due for a large acquisition. Suncor is open to sell Petro-Canada stations. I see them going to Couche-Tard or Canadian Tire or both. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. Yeah, that could be very interesting. Now, Couche-Tard, they would be a good fit. They would be a good fit. So, yeah, I will say that. That's not a bad point. Not a bad point. Petro-Canada merged their Petro Points loyalty programs with Triangle. Okay. And I remember the Petro Points. I never really had any because I didn't have a car. Jonathan says, late again. Oh my gosh, Jonathan. Normally you're always early. So what's going on? Where's that wormhole and singularity coin? Oh, I'm sure they're in there. I think you can search. Let me pull this up here. Let's see. Oh, well, I don't know if it would, no, that's searching, I think, the whole thing. That's like the whole site. Oh man, I can't search. Oh, well, that's unfortunate because that would be, let's see here, crypto coins excluding Bitcoin, crypto coins excluding stable coins DeFi. Yeah, I don't think it's going to let me. So I don't know. I don't know about wormhole and singularity. All right. While we're over here, let's just very quickly take a gander at what's coming up on the channel because I always like to do that. Over here on the Discord, there is a link down below. See, look, there's all of this. Everybody keeps talking underneath it. Me too. I'm just as bad as everybody else. Makes it hard that you have to scroll up to see it. So I'm probably, and no offense to anybody who's talking here, including me, I'm going to probably just clean out some of this stuff here. What the heck is that? Okay. I'm probably just going to clean this out because, when people come here, I want them to get the schedule and not have to sort of scroll backwards to get to the schedule. Yeah, and it's like I said, it's my fault too. I'm just as bad as everybody else. So here we go. Yeah. Oh gosh, I have not edited the schedule, have I? Right here, we're up to this one here. Let's just get rid of all of that. Bang, bang, bang. There we are. Now it is, get rid of that other live stream here. We've already done that. All right. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. Schedule is up to date right now. I've got to put the next week. I got to put some more weeks on here pretty darn soon and try to flesh some of it out because I got a whole bunch of things I want to do in June. So we got a regular video coming up on the 28th. Now, I'm wondering. No, but the problem is I wish I had all the bank information. Then I would love to have done this. So here's what we're probably going to do. I'll just edit this right here. So on June 7th, that's not going to be a deep dive. That will be the bank video. That will be the bank review because the deep dive will get preempted for a bank review. I'll just put bank review for now, but that's where that's going to come in. The following week, we'll have a deep dive, but I also need to get the RESP one done. And I also want to do an income one for seniors. So hopefully get both of those done in June. I'm hoping maybe July if I can't get it fit in. But yeah, that's what's coming up. So I'm not yet sure what this video topic is yet. I haven't thought about it. It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week. But yeah, we got this all coming up. We do have this week, of course, coming on the weekend. I have already put things, got all the news done and ready for it. So we're all ready to go. And I will show you guys. I always like to do this when we do a Friday market close. Let's see here. That's this thumbnail. Yeah, here we go. We'll go. I will show you our opening little thing so you guys can see it. So yeah, it's the bear and the bull, our friends trying to go camping, first camping of the year. So there we go. All right, and a happy Friday to all from Bismarcky. And there's Y Video. Y Videos has gifted a Mountain Finance membership to Bismarcky. Congratulations, Bismarcky, and thank you, Y Videos. That is fantastic. So there we go. Nice. And congrats from Prairie. All right. Now, next Friday, I'm going to give you guys a chance to win a bonus show. But we're going to do, I want to do something different. Like normally it's like, hey, bunch of supers and you get the show. That's fantastic. I love it because that helps out the channel. But I want to just, every so often, I want to do something a little bit completely oddball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the back catalog of videos, and I'm going to pick a video, and I'll announce it on Sunday which video it is, and I'll drop links, and I'll put all the information down below, and we'll do a viewer, just sort of like a viewership thing. Like it has, it'll have X number of views if we get, and I'm trying to sort of put this out. I'm thinking like, if we have, what's the word? Like maybe if we put a certain X number of views on that video and if we pick it up within that week. So I'll announce on Wednesday if we got it. So between Sunday and Wednesday, that will be it. Something like that. Let me think. I'm still kind of putting it together, like the idea. Actually, Jill threw it at me just the other day and I was like, oh, that's not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind trying it. So we're going to try something completely different. It'll be a weird kind of experiment. And it'll be super easy because, I don't want to make it hard. I never, ever want to make it hard to earn that extra one. So that's what we'll do. We'll do that. It's going to be cool. I know right now I'm probably sounding like I got hit in the head by a bull. And I'm trying to figure out how to talk again. But give me till Sunday to put it together into something clear and concise. Because right now I just don't have the data that I'm looking at for it. But it'll be cool. Maybe it'll be something silly like I'll make you look at one of my worst videos ever. And I'll be like, this many of you need to view this video and then we get our bonus. I don't know. We'll see. All right. And Ricardo's trying to get me to say, hey, again. I'm not going to do it, Ricardo. I'm not going to do it. 9 says, dodged another gifted membership. You can't dodge them forever, 9. You can't dodge them forever because you never know when a gifted membership is going to hit you. It will happen. It will happen. In fact, it is the end of a weekend. Let's drop one. I will drop one just for the banana bread of it all. Why not? And maybe this will hit 9. I don't know. I don't know. If it hits 9, though, you should all yell rigged because that would be funny. And it has hit Prairie Investor. Congratulations, Prairie. Not 9, but it did hit Prairie. There we go. There we go. That's fun. That's kind of fun. It's like playing Battleship with memberships, right? Under the A12, miss. So have to. Oh gosh, that is lit. Oh my god. You guys can still see that. I did not realize. I thought I was up full. I thought I was in full. Holy cow. Didn't want you guys to sort of see that that was your singularity, right? Just the singularity of Candace going deeper, 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 deeper. You keep going further down the rabbit hole. Holy cow. Yeah, congratulations, Prairie. Congratulations. Mary says, Mary's here, so hit the like button, everybody. Turn it blue. Let's make sure people know this thing is happening. Mary says, did anyone read in the Globe today about the man that has over $850,000 in his TFSA? Holy banana bread. That's a good amount. That is a good amount. Now, if he has that legitimately, so, like didn't day trade or do any kind of hanky thing, then that's really impressive. It's not impossible. It's absolutely not impossible to get there from, honestly. Like if you make a lot of good investments, yeah, absolutely. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty darn cool. Prairie says, wow, thank you. You're welcome. You know what? I haven't had any coffee yet today. Whoops. My coaster is sticking to, which is funny. This thing has a coaster on the bottom, so I don't know why I put it on a coaster. It's I don't know. I just do. Anyway, thank you, Starbucks. Oh, this is so good. And I'm not putting it back on the coaster. I'm leaving the coaster alone. There we go. All right, and another congratulations. Y says, with Shopify and Nvidia and the TFSA, it's very possible. Yeah, absolutely. Like if you've been building it since like the 90s, well, late 90s, you could really, you could have really grown some big things in there like Shopify, Nvidia. There's a lot of stocks that have absolutely pumped. And, I wonder what the record is now. I wonder what the biggest TFSA in Canada is. That's legit. Now, the other thing too, there is a process. So, for example, if you pass on and you happen to be married to somebody who's much younger than you, you can actually roll your TFSA into theirs. So they'll get, like, if you had, let's say you had $250,000 and they had $250,000 in their TFSA. Well, you could roll theirs in and they could then have 500,000. They don't get any of your unused contribution space, but everything that you've got filled in there, they can roll that in. And, then let's say they go and marry somebody else. And then that person dies. They could then roll that in. So you could conceivably, after a few of your husbands or wives or whatever start dying, the police are probably going to look at you like, what's going on? But you could certainly really play the system. You would basically, it's just keep marrying really, people who are really old who have big TFSAs. Wow. It would be kind of fun. I don't know if anybody's actually tried this or have done it, but I mean, you certainly, it's within the rules, so you could do it. I still, yeah, the dark side of the TFSA, not gold digger, TFSA digger. Yeah. It's one of those things, or maybe you're a black widow, and it's like, I just want to build my TFSA. That's why I'm doing it. So, Jonathan says it's called a murder snowball. Wow. Did we really go this dark? I think we have. But yeah, you can definitely do some interesting things with it. So Oh gosh, that is really fantastic. Oh my gosh. And this all goes back to Mary. Mary, Mary, you took us to the dark side. Oh well, it's fine. I mean, you guys are all awesome. So Ricardo says he has a question. All right. Um, let's see. What is your mentality when you're buying shares and the trade goes sideways? Do you buy down the average? What is your mentality to when you add as long as to when you okay? What is your mentality when to add as an AVG down or when to leave it alone? Okay, so that's a good question. First of all, um, when I'm buying a company, I've looked at their fundamentals, so I know what I'm getting into. So we're not into a situation where I'm going to be too worried, but I will look at why they're going down. You always should. So, for example, if we are looking at stocks that are falling, but everybody in that sector is falling. So let's say, for example, let's use Bell. I will use Bell as an example. So I bought into Bell, and here, I'm going to bring Bell up because this way here I can sort of illustrate it. Whoops, we don't want that one. Whoops, come on, over here. All right. All right, so I'm going to bring up BCE. All right, now BCE, I like them. I love their fundamentals. So let's go to, I'm going to go to the 3 months because, I bought Bell somewhere around 40s. I don't even think it was at 46. I think it was like around, I probably bought somewhere in this area right about here. So I bought Bell up in here. And from the looks of things, I was like, okay, we got to be close to the bottom. Like the last time they were this low was more than 10 years ago. So, and their fundamentals look strong. They got a good moat. I have no doubt that they're going to recover. But look what happened. They went down. And they went down more. So what did I do? Well, I bought more. I bought more because I have faith in the fundamentals. The numbers look good. And the math to me, like if the math doesn't lie, if the math looks good, it looks solid, then that's fine. And at the same time as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, okay, well, what's happening in that sector? So remember how I said what's happening? Like, are they falling down while the sector is doing well? That's a concern. That's a red flag. But in this case, the sector is doing the exact same thing. You can look at, well, let's do it. First of all, let me give you a bigger view. We'll do the 1 year. So here's this slant. This is that 1 year. Holy banana bread. Doesn't look great. But let's take a look at, let's look at TELUS. All right, we'll bring up TELUS. TELUS is a good company. But you look at their 1 year, and it's kind of the similar story. They did have a little bit of a recovery here, but overall, same story. We also got Rogers. We'll pull them up as well. This one's I like this one because it's kind of that thing here. RCI, I believe. Here we are. It's kind of the similar story with the three of them. And we'll do the 1 year once again. Now, Rogers, they had an even better recovery. And look at this. They're actually doing a little bit better, which is surprising because Rogers has the ton of debt from buying Shaw. When they purchased Shaw Communications, their debt went crazy, but they're doing a little bit better. So, and it's funny. Rogers is that one that I was like, okay, well, they have so much debt. I'm worried about them, but they're doing a little bit better. But for the most part, holy cow, there we go. For the most part, all of these guys are doing the same thing. For the most part, there's a little bit of a difference here and there, but I do have full confidence because I do see that rate cuts are going to be good for these guys, all of them. Believe it or not, Rogers will actually benefit the most from the rate cuts because they're carrying the biggest debt load. So that's more money that'll be going into, not that there's more money coming in. It's just that there will be more money available within that's not going to paying on the interest on those debts. So servicing their debts will become a little bit cheaper. That other money can either go to paying down the debt, which would be fantastic, or other things within the system. But I imagine they're going to look at paying down that debt because you want to get rid of that debt. Now, and here's the thing, and I don't blame Rogers for this. If Rogers had known what was going to happen with the rate hikes and everything, because everybody was under the impression during the pandemic, because the government said it, the Bank of Canada said it, that, yeah, the rates were going to be low for a long time. They all said it. So everybody bought into that. Everybody drank that Kool-Aid. That's why there's so many people who got themselves into a lot of trouble, like overmaxing what they could borrow during that time, because they were thinking, okay, well, with these low interest rates not forever, but for a long time, I don't have to worry about things. Boy, was everybody wrong. And once again, and this is the funny thing, as much as I sometimes crap on the government, I can't blame them entirely on this. This kind of comes back to the Bank of Canada, because the Bank of Canada started the message. The government's not smart enough to come up with that message on their own. They don't know fiscal policy well enough. So they just they just sort of echoed what the Bank of Canada was saying. The Bank of Canada made some bad calls. Simple as that. So, yeah, anyway, that's kind of the way I look at it when I look at it. Now, if I invest in a company and they fall and their fundamentals aren't good, well, one, I should never have gotten in the first place. But if I did and they start to fall, I'm probably going to look at what I want to do as an exit strategy, because sometimes you do have to take a loss. There's no way around it. You will sometimes have to take losses. And that's kind of the way I will look at it. But if I got in and I'm very happy with the fundamentals, and those fundamentals haven't changed. So keep in mind, if you look at your fundamentals and then and then you bought in, and a year later it's going down, you want to look at the fundamentals again. You want to make sure that they haven't changed before you make any big decisions on that company. All right. And yikes. Yeah, to the dark side. I apologize. My native language is Spanish, so English kind of hard. No worries. No worries at all. I am fine with, I'm fine. As long as we can communicate one way or another, we can do it. And it's kind of neat too. One of the fun things when it comes to languages is just where AI is getting right now. Like, I've watched some demonstrations online where, you could have like somebody, you could have like a chat GPT or something there with you. And you could tell it, translate anything said in English, translate it to Spanish, anything in Spanish, translate it to English. You can give it those instructions and then use the chat GPT to have a conversation back and forth. I think that's just absolutely fantastic. I can't wait. I think that'll be neat. Once O has its full functionality unlocked, it hasn't yet. I'll bring it on the air. And we'll have a chance to take a look at it. All right, let's bring me back up to big once again. Let's see. So conviction in your due diligence is what dictates the conviction to average down rather than leaving it alone. Yes. If it's a high conviction stock, I'm going to average down. I'll be happy to average down. I'll be happy that it's going down, because this will give me that opportunity to make more money overall in my longer term profits. So I'm definitely happy with that. All right. Shub says, hello, ma'am. I want to ask you a question. May I get an opportunity to work for you as a thumbnail designer or video editor? Wow, that's brazen to come into the chat and ask. But right now, I don't have the budget. I'm still not that I'm brand new, but don't make a lot of money yet. Can't really afford to bring on people, but thank you for asking. All right. Paris, I was going to say. Patricia says, tell us, as drop 2, same story, I'm trying to get to a certain amount of stocks. Yeah, and that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. All right. Mario says, I need time to get some BCE, Telus, and Rogers before the rate cut. There we go. Well, if it's July, then you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. All right. Oh, I see that Vancouver Isle guy, Mr. Kevin, has gifted 10 Mountain Finance memberships. Holy banana bread. Let's see who won. Oh my gosh. So Mario won. Glenna She might be sitting in the background. She might be sitting in the background. Let's see. Ian won. Kendall got a membership, and Chad was gifted one as well. There's Bleak. Holy cow! There's JJ and Stan and Sammer. Woo! That's a lot of folks. Thank you very much, Kevin. I thank you for them as well. That means a lot. That was awesome. Wow. I think that's the first time anybody has ever like gifted 10, like bang, boom. That's incredible. All right. Y Video says, I think TELUS is a good choice. Meanwhile, we get the dividend. Yeah, absolutely. And that dividend's only going to get bigger. I don't see TELUS as cutting their dividend. I think it's a very safe dividend. And let's see, Prairie says, I agree. I hold both BCE and TELUS. And then thumbs up. I only have TELUS. And of course, here's, once again, here is the 10 that came from Kevin. Fantastic. This guy rocks. All right. Whoa, congrats to all 10. There we go. And then Mario is thanking Kevin. Bismarcky, thanks, Vancouver Isle Guy. Very nice gesture. There we go. Thanks for the membership, says Ian. I'm at work. What do you think the BNS earnings call will be like? Dividend rise. I'm hoping. I'd like to see it. I think if they don't do it this time, they'll do it the next quarter. But let's see. I do think they're going to beat their earnings, though. I'm pretty stoked on BNS. They've been doing really well. Is 9 the new Skiz? Maybe. Oh dear. Let's see. Vancouver says, my pleasure. This is an amazing channel. And Candace, as you know, is an amazing woman. There we go. Well, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Ty says, both T and BTC are under pressure. The question is the div safe? I think it is. I think they've got a lot of moat on them. They really have that ability, I think, to hold on much longer than they even need to. And as those rate cuts start to come down, it's going to really start changing things quite a bit with companies that do carry higher amounts of debt, such as both of these, BCE as well as TELUS. Brian says, thanks to all the generous folks. It was definitely cool. Sammer says, thank you. I'm working now, but I'll watch it later. All right. Sophie is in the house. Happy Friday, crew. Hello, Sophie. Good to see you. Jonathan's in here with a 10 membership. And then in his best, Doc Brown, it's like, great Scott. There we go. That was the best I could do. Ian says, I have been buying a lot of SPYI. Do you like that ETF? All right. Well, let's take a look at it. Boop-a-doo. Once again, I'm over here because we were looking at all the winners. My StreamYard doesn't show me who wins. I have to actually go into YouTube to find out. All right. All right. So SPYI. Here we go. Let's see. SPYI. Let's try this one more time. All right. Tell me which one it is. The I is kind of throwing me off a little bit, Ian. But we do have SPDR, which is the S&P 500 ETF Trust. And it's not even giving me any data. Yeah, exactly. Well, this one is American. SPDR. Let's see here. Sometimes, because you know what? This is time to go to Yahoo. Let's do Yahoo Finance. Because sometimes TMX can have a hard time seeing some of those ETFs. All right, let's see here. SPYI. Here we are. All right. So let's take a gander here. So you're looking at about a 7.78% on it. That's not too shabby. Now, I kind of want to. Let's bring this here up. Let's go with, I'm going to go with just the 2-year to take a look here. All right, what's it been doing? Yeah, it has been slowly moving up, so not too shabby. But I don't know a lot about it. Like, I'm not sure exactly what is going on inside of it. So it's hard for me to really pull together exactly what's happening with it. But um they are looking at the Neos S&P 500. I think there's a good chance it's probably a half decent ETF just from looking at it, but I don't want to say too much more without actually going in and digging a little bit deeper. So it's definitely one of those ones that I haven't put a lot of energy into yet. So, all right, why videos? Why videos has gifted a Mountain Finance membership? Who's won? Who won? Let's find out. Carl M. Congratulations, Carl M. And thank you. Why? Holy banana bread. That's fantastic. All right. And congrats, Carl. S&P 500 high dividend. There we go. And look at this. Kevin, you're just absolutely out of control. $20 super sticker. That's going, by the way, that goes into the challenge. So that's fantastic. Oh, I should probably should probably get rid of that so that we don't have the big black hole there. That's fantastic. Absolutely. Kevin is absolutely rocking today. Holy cow. Holy cow. And why videos? Whoa. And have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a fantastic way to end the week. That's for sure. Holy cow. All right. Y Video says thanks and same to you. Mario is saying Vancouver Isle guy, slow down, slow down. There we go. That's hilarious. Y Videos is yeah, and yeah. When Nvidia rocks, I rock. Holy cow! Yeah. Now I do know for a fact that you know Kevin has a sizable Nvidia position, so congratulations on that, Kevin. Congratulations. You're doing really well with Nvidia this year. Y Video says Nvidia rocked for me too. Absolutely. That's fantastic. Yeah, I know there is I do have another account I think that I have some Nvidia in too. I haven't even looked at it. So it's probably done well. It has probably done really well. All right, guys, we're almost at that hour. We're almost there. If you guys got any last minute questions, comments, salutations, or you want me to look at something, throw it in the comments. We can do it absolutely before we close out on this on the beginning of this weekend. Of course, we're back again on Sunday, so it's not like it's a long weekend. It's a day. Can you look at the ETF HBA? Yes, I can. Let's bring you back to that. We'll leave that up just in case. All right, and HBA. But this one here, I'm pretty sure. I knew it was a Hamilton. So Hamilton, Australian equal weight. And I love this. I love this because I'll tell you, the Australian economy, the stock market in Australia, it's very similar to Canada. Both the same size. So it is not a bad market to be diving in. Let's take a look and see how these guys have been doing. Oh, look at this. This is even better than this is even better than us. Wow, I'm loving this. I am loving this very much so. And you've almost got a 5% dividend on it. This is not a bad looking ETF at all. And plus, it is Australia, so you are getting international exposure with it. So I definitely think this is a good little. Let's see here. I'm looking for one last thing here. See, oh, you get some half decent return on equity. The return on assets is low, but when you're looking at banks, they do tend to be low. So that does not shock me at all. And yeah, look at this. They've got not a bad ETF. I do like it, Mario. I think it's a good one, especially if you want to get that exposure. And Sophie says, Candace, can you check out Vino ASM? Sure, I can. Let's just pull ASM up. Avino, here we go. Avino silver and gold mines. Here we go. A little bit on the low side. So, they're kind of, I call that, if it's more than a buck, I tend to say it's penny adjacent. It's a penny adjacent stock. But a lot of big stocks began as penny stocks. I'll put that there. All right. So let's take a look here. So yeah, now this kind of mirrors the industry. So, things are slowing down and then boom, look at this. And that's what's been happening lately. So they've went pretty much at their low, 59 cents. They pretty much almost tripled. So that's not too shabby. Let's pull up some key data on them. So these numbers here are low, but once again, they're a new company. They're a newer company, like a small company. So that's perhaps not so bad. And I am expecting a lot of companies like this, as we continue to see much more investment in gold and silver, and as those prices keep going up, I imagine a company like a Vino or even the B2 Gold, I think they're going to do okay. I think they're poised to have a pretty good 2025. So this is a company that, because they're small, I'm always a little bit leery, but it's probably not a bad company to put in a small position and see what you can get into. See what you can definitely get out of this. So yeah, not a bad one, Sophie. Quick thoughts on XIU over VDY. Yeah, well, VDY, my thoughts are, I like VDY. I did. I mean, I like them, but at the same time, XIU, and I'm pulling this up here for everyone to see. Let's come in. So XIU has, they're a good ETF. I do like them. I mean, if you look at this, this is coming out of the bear market, moving in towards, because we're kind of like, we're in a bull market now. Like I've been hesitant to call it a bull market, but we're in the beginnings of a bull market. So things are looking up. How long it will be, and I've had people ask me that, it's probably going to be at least a year, at least the rest of this year, and probably well into 2025. And yeah, a little bit of a yield. That's fine, though. When you're looking at something from a total return, a 3% yield when you got, look at this. I mean, from $33, I mean, if you'd bought earlier in the year, 29, that's not bad. So you probably have a pretty good return. So I do like both of these. I'll be honest about that. All right. Kevin says, I'm only 8 months into investing, and if not for Candace, I'd not really have much of a clue. I've invested in a few of the stocks she has done videos on, and I'm in debt to her. Well, thank you. I'm glad that it has been helpful. And hopefully, more importantly than me pointing out stocks, more importantly is looking at how I'm thinking about the stocks, looking at how I'm approaching the stocks. So that way there, when you're doing your due diligence, it sort of makes a little bit of a difference there. So definitely I'm humbled. Let's see, her membership has definitely helped me beyond belief. Well, I'm so happy for that. These are the positive things I love to hear about. Y Video says, talking about ETFs, I own FFN. It's a little bit scary, but so far so good. So FFN, it is a split core. Let me show you guys. I'll pull this up here. All right. Oh yeah, we do. I had to double check to make sure we still had the. Now this is the North American Financial Split Core, but I'm going to pull up the 3-year on this one. So they've had a lot of issues here. Like here, what this is. Actually, the pandemic is on the other side of this, but as we moved into the bear market, they had a lot of issues with it. They are starting to pick back up. Now, here's the thing about split core. I'll spell this out for you guys. In bad markets, they're not the best things to be involved with. Now, let me show you why. So this is a monthly dividend. All right, let's go to the key data and let's go to their dividend payments. All right. So let's see. Well, there's 3 months right there. No dividends. You'll see that they're spotty when you're looking at it. Like there's another month where they just didn't pay a dividend. So that can happen. Now, when we're in a bull market, they tend to be a lot more stable. You tend to receive your dividends. But what they will do is if they don't have enough money to pay out the dividend, they will do a return on capital. So ROC. So you'll want to keep those in a registered account so you don't get screwed tax-wise. So in bear markets, I find they're fine. Now, there are some exceptions. I'll show you one here, ENS. So this here is a split core, but they only invest in Enbridge. And I'll pull you up their 3-year. So, they kind of follow what's happening in oil for the most part. Now, this is a little concerning towards the end here. I haven't looked at these guys in a while, but one of the things I do like about them, they got a high yield. And when you start to go in and take a look, now, hopefully, where is, dear God, where is my menu? My menu's, oh, there it is. I was like, my menu's gone, but no, it's here. All right. When you go in and you take a look, you'll see you don't get these missed dividends. They're very good and they've been very reliable. So to me, you're not even in this stock for the growth. You're in it for the income. So this is an income, purely an income stock. You can't rely on growth, but you can rely on that 13 cents. That's fantastic. But I mean, if you want, I'm going to do this one more time. Oops. Oh, well, it pulled it up anyway. Let's go to Canoe. Let's take a look at the last year in Canoe. Holy banana bread. So Canoe, once again, it's more of an income stock. You get a little bit of a range, but look at this. Since about October, they have been on a tear. They had a little retracement here, but they did get up to 14.21. So that's not too shabby. So Canoe's been doing really good growth-wise. Normally for me, I've always held them as an income stock, but once again, Canoe is another company that does use return on capital. So you want to keep it in a registered account. So your TFSA, RESP, our DSP, our RSP, you just don't want to put it in your personal account, because with return on capital, what happens is your adjusted cost base goes down. So if you do sell, so let's say, for example, if you bought it at 13.10, and you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sell it now that it's up at 14.20. Well, you might look and at your adjusted cost base, and maybe, hopefully, it's reflecting correctly in your broker. But when you bought it at 13.10, you might have an adjusted cost base of, like, let's say $12.99, because they used a little bit to help pay some of the dividends. That does happen. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's bring Big Me back up. And Sophie says, Candace rocks. Thank you. And Mary Crease, thank you once again. Candace stirs up the best. Yeah, except for cooking. My cooking isn't that good, but I serve up the stock info for sure. Canoe is a keeper. It's a good income stock. Absolutely. And Kevin says, yes, always fresh and hot out of the oven with perfect amount of butter. Maybe my banana bread. I make good banana bread. At least banana muffins. I make some pretty good stuff. But for the most part, yeah, we'll leave my cooking out. We'll leave my cooking alone. It's not the best. All right, everybody. We've gone an hour, 10 minutes. That's fantastic. I love it. But let's get into the weekend. We'll be back here. Of course, when we do this week on Sundays, we usually go about 2 hours. So almost twice as long as the market closes. But you guys have been awesome. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself tomorrow. I hope to see you guys again on Sunday. And a huge shout out to both Y Videos and Vancouver Isle Guy with the gifted memberships and that generous super sticker. That generous super sticker. You guys rock. Fantastic. Until next time, take care. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.